Hey there YouTube, this is SJM4306 and I have a new package, and as you can see it's some sort of Game Boy. Got this in the mail the other day, haven't had time to do anything with it for the last, I don't know, few days just because of how busy I've been. Oh, sorry, obscuring the camera there. Yeah, hands are a little shaky. I forgot to bring my, my cell phone camera mount thingy that I built. So we're just going to have to do this free-handed, unfortunately. Yeah, so let's open this guy up and I shall show you. I already played around with it a bit just because I could not contain my excitement, but let's see. I'll tell you how much I got this for and then you guys will be jealous. As you can see, it is a near mint condition Game Boy Light. You can see that there's screen damage there. The polarizing filter is a little scorched there. Other than that, it's in great condition. Includes the battery cover too. And so I got this guy for 50 bucks. And that sounds like a lot, but when you look at the fact that working ones of these easily go for well over 100 bucks in this condition, other than the screen that is, I did not get a bad deal. So I got this, he posted pictures of the backlight working and the screen vaguely working, and so I knew that I was getting a good deal on this, and let me, so let's switch off that light and show you guys. As you can see, it sort of inverts towards the center because of the damage to the polarizing filter, but as you can see, it works basically. Sound works, all the buttons work, screen more or less works. Once I repair that, I will be good to go. Yeah, so basically what I have to do now is open the guy up. You can see slightly bluish looking glow, but in real life it's kind of greenish. But yeah, definitely, it's not very bright, but definitely playable in the dark, more than playable. So what I'm going to end up doing now is opening this guy up, removing the screen. For now I have a replacement screen that I can use with a diffuser. Later what I'm going to end up doing is taking this original screen, removing the polarizing filter very carefully, and then replacing that. I have a stack of old broken LCDs whose polarizers are perfectly fine. Just use a hairdryer to carefully lift off the filter, cut it to size, put it on there. We're good to go. I could even probably, if I flip the polarizing filter, I can invert the entire image and then do like a biversion sort of thing. But I think for now I'll leave it stock. But yeah, definitely try to replace that polarizing filter. So yeah, so I'll hopefully add on to this video when I get that done. So yeah, now that I'm home on break, I can finally do a teardown. I got this in, you know, maybe a month or two ago, and I made a quick video which you would have just seen in the segment prior to this of me unboxing, or unwrapping it rather, because this is a used device obviously. I could definitely not afford a brand new one, but I want to show you guys that I did, like I promised, fix the screen there. And everything works. And I will show you how I fixed everything. Anyway, everything all works. You can see that. So, before we do that though, let's do a quick teardown of this guy. Obviously you want to remove the cart and the batteries. And I was lucky enough to have the original battery cover, which half of them are missing, and there's only marginal damage to it, little scratches and whatnot. But other than that, this is in very, very good condition. So just like a Game Boy Pocket, this is actually almost identical the way that you take it apart. 6 screws, 2, and then 2 up top as well. You will need a tri-wing screwdriver. I'm going to be getting massive flashbacks from me tearing down the Game Boy Pocket. Yeah, and if you've noticed that the video quality is a bit better, that's probably because, honestly, I just got a new phone, which means a better camera. Right now I have a Note 4, and I can finally take video in 1080p 60 frames a second. Internet connection, you know, fast enough provided, obviously. Anyway, yeah, so my videos hopefully look a lot better now than with my old S3 that I was taking videos. The back cover just pops off like this, and once again, Deja Vu looks exactly like a Game Boy Pocket. So, in the exact same way, you want to unlatch the ZIF connector to take out the LCD data ribbon connector. And now you're going to need your Phillips screwdriver. Here you'll notice that there's one extra screw, Phillips screw, because when I flip this guy over, you'll see why that there's an extra screw in here. It's because that's where the connector for the electroluminescent display is, and it needs that extra screw to apply pressure to the connector to make sure it electrically connects to the main board. So here we go. There we go. And it looks exactly like a Game Boy Pocket, with the exception of it's slightly longer and this little guy in here, which you could see is a transformer mounted, interestingly enough, on some flat flex, and then that is soldered to the main board, which is odd enough that they couldn't just solder it directly. But anyway, basically what its job is to take the the incoming 3 volts from the batteries and step it up to like the 120, 130 volt required in order to light the electroluminescent display, which is this guy right in here. And so it's actually pretty neat. They definitely, it would have been cool if we got this stateside, but unfortunately we didn't. It was kind of late into the life cycle of the Game Boy, and the Game Boy Color had just, was looming in the near future at that point, so we never got a Game Boy Light. But I love this system, honestly. It's so cool. I would have been so thrilled when I was a kid to have something like this. So now we'll go to the interesting part of how I fix this guy. If you watched the video segment right before this, you'll notice that there's a huge dark spot in the middle of the screen, and you can barely see anything at that point. So what I ended up doing was, this is a little known secret, this being almost looking exactly like a Game Boy Pocket, interestingly enough uses the exact same LCD screen, with one important modification required. So let me just take this guy out. Being very ginger, just because I don't want to destroy anything, because I know how much this guy's worth. So anyway, this is the electroluminescent display. It's just a standard, blue-green one. More green, so more. It lights up, that greenish eerie color. But yeah, if you wanted to, you could probably replace this with, they have modern, different colored electroluminescent displays. You can order them, cut them to size, carefully fit them in, probably replace that. But I'll be keeping with the original since mine's in pretty good condition. And so what I ended up doing with my display, you can see here, this is a Game Boy Pocket display. I followed the instructions for what you do with a Game Boy Pocket in order to backlight it. So removing the back reflector, but leaving the polarizing filters on either side, and that leaves you with a semi-clear screen. Then I took from an old LCD a diffuser backing, cut it to the right size. Otherwise you would see a whole bunch of little speckles on the screen where the backlight is. Cut that to the right size, put it in here, fit her in carefully, and then you should be able to just reassemble like that, and now you have a working screen. That's how I got this guy so cheap, was that blotch that was on the screen that the user, I guess, didn't know how to fix, or didn't think it was time worthy to repair it. But for me, definitely saving $50-60 just by having to replace a screen that I already had spare screens for, was definitely worth it in order to, you know, bring back this unit. And so I think that was a pretty good investment. Another way that I could have fixed it requires a little bit more effort. The old screen, it was a polarizing filter on the front that was damaged, probably heat damage it looks like actually. A way to fix that would have been, you know, removing the front polarizing filter, getting, you know, a clean filter from, you know, either from scrap LCDs if you remove them carefully enough, or even, you can order online, but they're pretty expensive. Removing that, cleaning it off, putting a new one in, and then, you know, you'd be good to go basically. But that's kind of more work, I think, than what I ended up doing. So let's screw this guy back together, and then verify that she still works. Because obviously that would be a very bad thing if it no longer worked. I've always wanted one of these, but I obviously could never really find one for a good price until now. So let's see. I always like Nintendo. They do a really good job of labeling everything, and then they circle the screws that go in to the main board. And let's see, one more here. And obviously you have the warning, high voltage, risk of electric shock warning there. Which is pretty cool. So yeah, ribbon cable's in. Power was in. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Just a matter of putting it back together in reverse. Yeah, I was surprised by how similar this was to the Game Boy Pocket. You almost can't tell very easily that that it is a Game Boy Light. I'll show you the main differences in a second. I have a silver, I have multiple Game Boy Pockets. I can show this right next to show you the differences between them. After I'm done buttoning this guy up. Besides, obviously, the backlight. But if you're looking for these for a good deal on eBay, and, you know, you spot a seller that maybe doesn't know what they have, you might be able to get a good deal on this because they might mistake this for a Game Boy Pocket and put it as a listing for one. So I will be right back after I grab my Pocket. Okay, so here's the main difference besides the backlight, is that you can see that the Game Boy Pocket, this guy here, is just a tad bit shorter. In terms of thickness also, it's about the same thickness with the exception of the bumps that stick out the back for the AA batteries. And that's also the thing, the Light uses AA batteries as opposed to the Pocket, which uses AAA batteries, just because of that increased current draw due to the backlight. But if you turn off the backlight, you get even better battery life off of the Game Boy Light. Other than that, yeah, they're pretty much identical, other than the fact that obviously this has a two-way switch, the Pocket, and then this guy has a three-way switch. And one thing to note is the screen guard is slightly different. Obviously the Pocket says Pocket and the Game Boy Light says Light, and it's slightly reflective, it's silverish. Yeah, and those are the main things to look for. Easiest way to spot is by looking, if they, you know, have a front-on pictures, by looking at the lens guard label there. Very quick way. But yeah, these guys are becoming rarer and rarer, harder to find, and the ones that are still in, you know, really good condition like this guy are going for well over $100 now, easily. Especially the special edition ones, like they had a, you know, a set of clear, you know, clear translucent yellow, like translucent red. Those ones go for easily $250, $300. So probably will never see one of those in my lifetime. But anyway, this was just a quick look at a teardown of a system that I thought I never would get my hands on, but I was very fortunate in being able to add this into my collection, and this guy will definitely stay in my collection now that it's all fixed up. You know, I will probably put many hours into playing. It's just more comfortable, I think, than the Pocket. I actually like the bumps on the back. Kind of adds some weight to it, and definitely get better battery life. And that backlight, I love it. It looks kind of bluish on the video, but in actuality, it's kind of greenish more. Yeah. My autofocus is having a real hard time with that. Yeah. You'd see everything works. And yeah, I just love that backlight. That's the way that the Game Boy should have originally had a backlight, I think. But yep, anyway, that is my video, and I hope you guys like it. Yeah, the reason why I'm able to make a video again is I'm back home for a short break, week break, and so yeah, I'm usually pretty busy during the academic year and most of the summer and my winter breaks. So, you know, I try to make videos whenever I can, but yeah, it's kind of a difficult time in my life just in terms of my workload and whatnot. It has to, my hobbies have to take a backseat, unfortunately. But I'll try whenever I can, you know, if I get some new stuff. I have some cool ideas I've been kicking around with some of my friends, and things that they managed to get a hold of that I think would be very interesting for us to do a teardown together. So I'll announce it at a later date, whenever, you know, things pan out. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. You know, if you enjoyed the video, you know, like, subscribe, comment below. Every little thing helps, you know. I enjoy making these videos, but I also enjoy reading your comments. So, you know, until the next time I get my hands on something interesting, I will see you then. So, bye.